Fantastic. And I want to welcome the entire class. And before getting started with our weekly chat here, I do want to ask our guest that we have permission to both record as well as to share this information so that our students can learn from your wealth of experience.
Yes, you certainly have my permission.
Fantastic. So without further ado, I want to go ahead and ask if you'll please share a little bit about yourself, who you are and who you're representing and all that good stuff and what your role is.
Oh, well, let's see. First of all, Dr. Bourne, thank you for your interest in DRC and in me. A little bit about me. First, I think when I'm speaking to a professor at Long Beach City College and students from Long Beach City College, I want to let you know that I am alumni of Long Beach City College. Yes, as is my husband and three of our sons. And then my uncle, Dr. Leslie Nason, was head of the math department there for 25 years.
Wow.
So you see, I am a Viking in and out. I just wanted to start off with that. And but the thing is I'm not going to tell you what years I was there.
Totally.
Because that would be a problem with my staff here at DRC, because every year they help me celebrate my 39th birthday. So if you want to know how old I am, I'm 39 again. And the next me question, I'm really proud to say that I am the executive director of Disabled Resources Center. I joined DRC in 1992, and I started off as a part-time employee. I was only going to be here a short time. I'd come off of teaching, was only going to be here a short time, and one of my other staff members started both the same time, and she was only going to be here part-time. We're still here, but anyway, I served in many capacities, and my favorite was benefits counseling, which I loved. And then I was associate director, and I've been the executive director for the last 10 years. So that's kind of my role at my work here. But I am a current board member, and I'm secretary of Access Services, which is the paratransit service for Los Angeles County. And in fact, I'm secretary now, and I was recently the president. In fact, I've been president 3 times. I was appointed first by Supervisor Don Kanabe. And then I was reappointed by Supervisor Janice Hahn. And I'm also chair of the Long Beach Transit Paratransit Advisory Committee. So, and I'm also an active longtime member of the American with Disability Committee, the ADA, for the American Public Transportation Association, APTA. And so anyway, you're probably thinking, oh boy, she's involved in a lot of transportation groups, and I am. But you know, that really fits well for my work here at the center, because transportation is such an important part of being independent, especially for people with disabilities. So listen to this. This is a different one. I also serve on the Long Beach City College Access Program Advisory Board Committee. It's a long, long title. And I continue with the South Bay Senior and Disability Collaborative, which was founded along with Molina Healthcare. So the last thing that I'll mention is I serve on the City of Long Beach Mental Health Advisory Committee, and I really like that. I was educated, like I said, at Long Beach City College, Immaculate Heart College, and Loyola Law School. So that tells you a lot about me, right?
It does, it does. You know, for the benefit of the students who will be watching this after the fact, it really does lend further credence to there are so many additional resources and how they cross connect with
Yeah,
individuals like yourself being empowered to be guiding them along with your own personal and professional experience.
thank you.
So we have a real good overview on you and just a little hint about DRC. Could you provide us just a little bit more information about what DRC is and what you do?
Well, you know, our mission statement is DRC in a nutshell. It's to empower people with disabilities to live independently in the community, to make their own decisions about their lives, and to advocate on their own behalf. I think that says it all. But anyway, DRC is just one of 28 independent living centers in the state of California. In fact, there's 6 in LA County. That tells you how big we are, or how populated we are, rather. And we're under the Department of Rehabilitation. A lot of people don't realize that. I have to send all my reports, my quarterly reports, my yearly reports, everything to the Department of Rehabilitation. And they send me back money, which is nice. We serve people with all disabilities, all ages, and all incomes, which I think we are the oldest agency in Long Beach that serves people with all different disabilities. Usually everybody has a certain, you know, like Betty Clooney is brain trauma. Abilities First are uh, uh, yeah, learning disabilities, but everybody's got, you know, their own little niche, and but we are serving everyone, so that's good. All of my staff and more than 51% of my board are people with disabilities, so we kind of, you know, practice what we preach.
Walk the walk, right?
Yeah, the cities we serve, if you're interested in that, are Long Beach, Lakewood, Hawaiian Gardens, Artesia, Catalina, Cypress, Signal Hill, La Palma, Seal Beach, as well as 52 zip codes in Orange County and Los Angeles County. So it's a big area. And since we're under the Department of Rehabilitation, all 28 of us have to provide the same 8 core services, and those are information referral, individual and systems advocacy, independent living skills, peer counseling, transition and diversion, personal assistance services, housing and information services, and assistive technology. We also have 17 additional services that I went after grants and got because I saw that the community needed these things, and they are assistive technology loan program. So you can borrow anything here free for almost as long as you want to borrow it. You have to keep, you know, like the library, keep checking it out. But anyway, we have everything from tablets to ramps, anything you can think of. And benefits education, community advocacy for social change, community outreach, covered California information and assistance Medi-Cal provider, disability disaster access resources, which is a big one right now, employment services, mobility management training, peer support services, social security ticket to work, and Toastmasters Gavel Club. Yeah, that's a good one. Transitional funding program and transitional youth program for ages 14 to 24, volunteer intern opportunities, warm hands for wheelchair users. Guess who thought of that idea? One of my guys here that pushes his wheelchair in the cold every day. And last but not least, build a computer class where they actually build their own computer and then they get to take it home when they're through, free of charge. Wonderful class.
Beautiful.
So all 25 of those services are all free. So
What a fantastic opportunity. And
Yeah.
it sounds to me like there's a broad base of support, really more dependent on where the person who's coming to DRC has need, right?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. So as we move along, I think the next question that I was planning on throwing at you is based on both your personal experience and professional experience. Share with us a highlight or a success story of an individual with disability that's impacted you.
Well, where do I start? Every day is a success story at DRC. It really is. But let's start with probably our newest program, which is transitional youth. That's that 14 to 24-year-olds.
Right.
It's just, it hit the ground running. It's there's so many students in that age group that come out of foster care. And, you know, once they're of age and they reach 18, they no longer receive services. So they don't have a house to live in anymore. They don't have any money. They don't have any education. They're left with nothing. It's really traumatic. It really is. And so this is where we come in. We've got a memorandum of understanding with the City of Long Beach School District to accomplish working with these students. And it's just such a success story. We not only work with them through their transition, and everything at that age is a transition. I mean, they're transitioning from out of high school, they're transitioning to their first apartment, they're transitioning to dating, they're, you know, lots of transition. And so and I've got a wonderful staff person that also teaches swimming and for the City of Long Beach, and he knows how to talk to students, and he's got wit, and he's just great. So we don't drop them when they get a certain age. Then they transition into our programs here, our support groups, and things here at the center. So anyway, it's a wonderful program, and it's full of successes. But our other programs have successes too, if you have time. There's another story in our benefits that a young single mother with a 10-year-old boy. and she had surgery, and she wasn't ready to go home afterwards, so they put her in convalescent care. Well, I don't know if you've ever been to a convalescent home. Most of them are old people, but every once in a while you'll find somebody like this young woman. And when we found her, she'd been there 2 years.
Oh my
She
goodness.
was stuck because she had no money to get out. What happens is they take your Social Security check every month, and that pays for the convalescent care. And then they give you a little bit, they call it pocket money. And so what happens is she can't pay her rent, so she loses her apartment. And the worst of it all is she loses her 10-year-old son because she's not there to take care of him. And so he goes into foster care. So, anyway, we got her an apartment. First thing, in fact, the program that we put her in is called transitional funding, and we can get $2,500 for each person that we're going to transition, and you're supposed to be transitioning them out of a nursing home into independent living. So anyway, we found her apartment with this money. We bought her a refrigerator because it didn't have a refrigerator with the apartment. We got her some groceries, whatever she needed, even underwear. This woman was in convalescent care for 2 years. All she had was the gowns that they give her in the hospital. Well, to make a long story short, the next time I saw her was at Thanksgiving. And now the case manager had been getting in touch with her all along, but I saw her at Thanksgiving because she came into the center to get a free turkey that Congressman Alan Lowenthal was donating to our center. And she was getting this turkey to share with her new friends, her neighbors at the apartment where she moved in. And she had permission to get her son out for half a day on Thanksgiving from foster care. So she was all excited. Then the next time we heard from her, she was at Long Beach City College taking accounting classes. And she sent us her report card. It was so cute, all A's and B's. And yeah, I mean, anyway, and at that time she was getting her son on weekends. You know, I used to be on the board of social services, and let me tell you, once you go into foster care, it's not easy to get out. They're very, very careful in the timing and how they let the kids back into the homes. So anyway, she was getting her son on weekends at that time. Now, fast forward, her son is now in high school, and he is once again with his mother. And I love that. I love that story because it's true and it happened right here. But I cannot end with that story. Just one quick one, all right?
Yes, please.
This is about one of our staff members here at DRC. He's a quadriplegic. And for the first time in his life, he was able to vote all by himself. And it just brings tears to my eyes. He didn't have anybody fill out his ballot. He didn't have to have anybody hold his hand because he came here to DRC, which he already works here, but he came into the vote center in our large conference room. We have a flex vote center. And we had adaptive equipment where he could vote all by himself. Oh, it was wonderful to see that. And nobody holding his hand. By the way, we're going to be having another Flex Vote Center for the general elections in November. So anybody can come, any of you students, Eric, you can come and vote here at DRC. You don't have to have a disability, but if you do, there is wonderful adaptive equipment like there was for our staff person.
Excellent. And
So anyway,
is
you
this for
get me started on
day-
success
the day of
stories. Like
election?
I said, every day that our doors are open is a success story.
It does sound like that. Thank you so much, Dolores, for sharing those wonderful stories. They definitely, they touch my heart, and I imagine
I know.
they'll do the same for the students. So
Yeah.
again, thank you for that. So it just to kind of keep us moving along here. The next question that I have for you is, when working with individuals with disabilities who are trying to access services for the first time, what are some of the common obstacles that you've noticed that individuals are attempting to overcome?
Ooh, some of the common obstacles faced by individuals with disabilities that are coming for the first time are, I think there's three of them. Information, communication, and transportation. Those are the biggies. These avenues are all part of the independent living skills that we are trying to impart here at DRC. Regarding information, everybody says DRC is the best kept secret in Long Beach. And I know before I came to work here, I'd never heard of Disabled Resources Center. And so anyway, and it's funny because we've been here for 46 years, and we've outreached to organizations, communities, agencies, schools, and potential clients also find us in different ways by referrals, internet search, or just driving by the center and seeing the big, we're right on the corner of Temple and Spring, and it says Disabled Resources Center. Of course, I hate to tell you what the sign is next to us. Now I'm going to get you all curious. You're going to have to come and see. Anyway, yeah, the company, the new business we've got next to us is something else. Anyway, we also use the term consumers because that's what DOR uses. We used to use client, mental health at the village, they use members, and I love that, but we have to use consumers. DRC is encouraged to attend a regular group orientations and intake, which takes place every Wednesday at 9:30. And we have that in Zoom also, so they can watch it in Zoom or come here to the center. And no appointments are needed for the group intake. Just come at 9:30 Wednesday morning. And all of the services, like I said before, are free of charge. And at the group orientation and intake, you'll also be able to receive this information in several different languages. I've got a great staff. Oh my gosh, they just put me to shame. I mean, my German and English is it, but anyway, they speak, we've got, what all languages? We've got, anyway, I've got them somewhere in my notes, but we'll get to that later. Oh, under communication. That was the next thing I was going to talk about. Consumers communicate their needs in various ways, and our center's multicultural staff are fluent to interpret in a variety of languages, such as Spanish, Khmer, Japanese, Tagalog. We also have a full-time interpreter with sign language, ASL. We have descriptive and information materials. that are available in several languages, Khmer to Braille. So we got it going on here. Yeah, we do. Additionally, one of our new programs is our voice option program. And that's associated with the assistive technology department. And it provides speech augmentation devices for people who are nonverbal or who have trouble in speaking. And we are working with the Long Beach Unified School District to provide this to a lot of the students that have problems. Wonderful program. But that's another day. Transportation, and that's a third obstacle. And I already talked about how important transportation is. If you have a disability, even if you don't, it's important. So, but in partnership with LA Metro, DRC offers a mobility training program where we teach people how to ride public transportation, fixed route, how to plan and schedule their rides. We also give them free bus passes. So there again, it's a wonderful program. And these are just a few of the ways that DRC helps people with disabilities overcome barriers to independence.
Fantastic. And I would definitely echo what you were just mentioning. Many of those barriers are not just barriers for individuals with disabilities. They're barriers flat out. So, but it's wonderful that there is some additional assistance so that they don't remain barriers. Yeah. Super. Next question that I want to pose to you is, as your organization focuses on supporting individuals with disabilities, share with us what have been some of the challenges in engaging these individuals, and suggest, if you have, some strategies that you found to be effective.
Okay, challenges. Yeah, let me tell you, 2020, 2021 was the COVID years.
Yeah.
And that brought a whole new normal to us. We went through this metaphoric fire. We really did. Everything was done differently than it had been before. I mean, you know, I've been working here before, and everything, we had our ways of doing things, and all of a sudden we had to learn how to use Zoom. I mean, I'd never used Zoom. And we conducted all of our meetings, our trainings, our consumer intakes, everything was done in Zoom. And we did it while wearing masks. I mean, if I've been talking to you, you know, in those years, I'd have a mask on, constantly sanitizing my hands until they were so dry, they'd start to bleed. You know, here's my sanitizer right here. Anyway, we found ourselves with our new best friends, the mask, Zoom, and hand sanitizers. And also, another thing, we became like, we were in the business of distributing PPE. Oh my gosh. I mean, we distributed large quantities of PPE. I mean, gallons, hundreds of gallons of sanitizer, thousands and thousands of masks and gloves and shields that the government was sending us to pass out to people. I mean, it was amazing. And then when the Long Beach Unified School District moved to remote instruction, DRC continued uninterrupted presentations of the year-round Go LBC program for youth that I was telling you about. That's so amazing. Several times weekly. It was all done at Zoom. and via Zoom calls. The kids they were before us. They knew how to use Zoom. I mean, they know how to do everything. So anyway, it was something else. And then we also had 600 emergency go kit bags that we assembled. We put them all together. We ordered it, we assembled them, and it was 3 days of emergency equipment for any kind of disaster, any kind. And then we developed an emergency preparedness training video for emergency preparedness. We worked with Edison on this, and so we pass out those kits, and we also continue to pass out PPE even to this day. So several times during 2021 and 2022, DRC also functioned, and I mentioned this before, as a flex vote center for the Los Angeles County Register Recorder with accessible voting machines during the general election and the recall election. And like I said, we'll be doing another one in November. We also have ongoing food distribution. So we've got the whole thing where we supply boxes of foods that supplied to us or provided to us by the Los Angeles Regional Food Bank. So people can come here, they can get all of their PPE equipment, they can get food, they can get anything they need, any kind of AT devices they can get. So then for the second year in a row, due to social distancing and group gathering, this was a big change for us. We have an annual awards recognition event every year where we recognize outstanding people in the community. And some of your students from Long Beach City College are chosen to receive scholarships. Right. And so anyway, every year it's been a dinner and we congratulate them, shake their hands. Well, the last 2 years, we've had to do it Zoom. Anyway, I'm happy to say that this year in July, we actually had our event in person where we sat down and ate together, and we recognized in person our awardees. And I just can't even begin to tell you the feeling in the room. It was, people were so happy, you could see, to be together, to give one another hugs, to look in each other's eyes instead of through a screen like we're doing. It's just not the same. Anyway, I just want to say, with all that going on, at the end of the year, we found ourselves serving more consumers than we had ever done in the history of the agency.
Wow.
And all the while we were doing it in new and different ways. So I'm really proud of ourselves, and I'm really proud of the board and the people that support us. So we're grateful for that.
I would have to say, and of course it's with my own bias, but I would have to say that DRC is not a stranger to challenge. If anything, they take the bull by the horns and tame the bull and make sure that challenge is well taken care of. So yeah, kudos to you and your team. I don't think any individual, whether served by DRC or LBCC or both, who has had the challenges of working and living with disabilities could fathom in any way, shape, or form what this crazy 2+ years of COVID was going to do to us, but we
Well,
persevered.
it also opened the door to a new population of people. For the first time, I have well, I have two Cambodian staff, uh, and I have a Japanese staff. These populations of people usually don't go out and get community services. They are inclined to work with their own and getting what they need. And we've tried hard, we've outreached, we've tried hard to reach them. But let me tell you, the last 2 years, they needed DRC. And so for the first time, because we had the PPE, they started coming to the center, and they were lined up outside the building, clear to the curb. And but now they don't come for the PPE. Now they're coming for services. They found out all the wonderful services we have here, and it's the underserved populations that we've had all these years are no longer underserved. So that makes me feel so good. Really
Awesome,
does.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. And hopefully DRC will continue to thrive,
Yes.
even when goofy things like COVID happen.
Yeah.
So in moving forward, what would you say are some of the most common resources that are offered to your consumer group? And if I can kind of roll this out, are the resources part of specific services or programs that the organization has had for a long period of time, or is this something new?
Well, according to our most recent fiscal year report, which is called the 704 report that we send to the federal government, the following 6 services were the most requested: assistive technology services, housing, home modification, and shelter services, which doesn't surprise me. That's always like at the top of the list. Communication services, see, that's that voice option I told you about. Transitional youth program. I love our transitional youth program. Personal assistance services, where we recruit and screen attendants to help people in their home. We've got wonderful attendants that will work for a couple hours a day, or some that are live-in, whatever you need. They will come and clean your house. They'll take you to the doctor's appointments, or they will provide meds and bathing and everything else that you need. And then last is mobility training services. So those are the 6. And by the way, those services are all part of our services here at DRC. We already offer them, so they don't have to go anywhere else. We also offer information and referral to appropriate services and other agencies and organizations to whom we partner or collaborate with. So yeah, that's good.
Definitely. Appreciate you sharing that. As I shared with you before we jumped into this recording mode, this is a class that focuses in on building the knowledge base and understanding of disability studies in our Department of Human Services here at LBCC. So all of our students at some point or another is going to be touched, if they're not individually themselves, with the challenges of disability. More than likely the clientele, the consumers that they work with will be. So last question that I have for you is, if a student here at LBCC is interested in volunteering, participating in internships or field work with an organization such as yours, what would be the steps that they would need to follow?
Oh, we would love it if they came. Oh, we love interns. We love our volunteers. I have one volunteer. He's in the Special Olympics. He's here today. He's been here over 30 years. And I tried to get him to work. I had a job, a paying job for him, and his parents did not want him to, but he does the bulk mailing. He is just fantastic. But anyway, if a student is interested in volunteering or an internship, they should contact me directly, and they could do that by email. My email is D for Dolores, D, by the way, Dolores is spelled Dolores. Okay, D dot Nason, Nason, at drcinc.org. So hopefully got that. Otherwise, you could give that to them. And then they would send me a copy of their resume. So then after I look that over, I would call them or either email them and make arrangements for them to come in for an interview. And it's real easy. If possible, I like the students to come in on Thursday, or not Thursday, used to be Thursday, Wednesday morning at 9:30 for our group intake, because that way they can find out. It's only a half an hour, but they can find out more about DRC. Just like my talking to you, we should have had a PowerPoint presentation, because a picture's worth 1,000 words. And but anyway, excuse me. What I so I got lost my thought with that ringing. If they could come to the group orientation, they would get something out of that. And like I said, it's Wednesday mornings. But if not, that's fine. We can have them come some other day. DRC welcomes its volunteers and interns. They contribute so much of their time and their talents, and all of them have got some talent. They come here and they say, well, I really don't have any, and you'd be surprised. I pull it out of them. And all prospective volunteers, interns, and new staff are encouraged to take an 8-week course that's called Peer Counseling: Stepping Stones to Employment. And it's held once a week for 8 weeks. And I used to teach this class. It's a wonderful class. You get a certificate, but all of my new employees are required to take it. And my volunteers, they're required, but the interns, because of their school and their classes, I don't make it mandatory. So if they can, great, but if they can't. So anyway, that's
perfect. That really encapsulates it. And what a wonderful opportunity to be able to gain some exposure, gain some experience, learn from those who can teach them.
I'd just like to say that our interns here, and you can ask my staff, they always come back for a second term because they like interning here so much. Nobody just files and writes letters and things. They all get involved. They get lots of experience working with consumers, and they're just like, they do everything. They're just like staff, except that they're supervised. And so I've hired many of my volunteers and interns. So by the time they're through, after 8 weeks, they're ready. So anyway, I try to get them before somebody else does.
Good choice, especially, well, the way that I would look at it, it's an investment, isn't it?
Yes,
And you want to reap the benefit of that investment.
right.
It makes total and complete sense. Speaking of investments, this has been a wonderful investment of time, and I'm very much looking forward to the comments, the feedback, the interactions that my students are going to gain from what you shared with us. So thank you so much for giving of yourself and your time. If there is anything that my students wind up coming up with questions, I will certainly either myself forward it on to you or guide them in your direction. And again, I want to thank you for taking the time to have a chat with us.
You know, I'd just like to invite you and any of your students to please come by and visit the center. We'd just love to have you. You're welcome anytime. If you'd like me to give you a tour of the center and introduce you to all the staff, then make an appointment with me. I'd be glad to do that, but please come by and visit. You know, one of in fact, our counselor from DOR, he says, Disneyland is not the happiest place on earth. DRC is the happiest place on earth. So
Yeah, that's quite a high compliment.
come and see.
There you go. Yeah, well, there's absolutely no better point to sign off on than that. So I'll stop the recording for the benefit of the class.